What's going on, dude? What's up, man?
Oh man, I'm great. I'm great. And before we get started, I'll throw on this little intro right quick.
Yes, master.
I think that worked pretty well.
That thing hypnotized me.
Have a little background music.
That's it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to seduce you.
Whoa, what's happening? What kind of show am I on?
Right, like what's with the lights and the music in the back?
Man.
No, but thank you for showing up and showing some love, for this episode today. And fortunately, we couldn't have Max Devill, our other fellow.
We're gonna need to turn down that music a little bit, though, if you can do that.
Oh, okay. Let's see. How's that?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Good.
Okay, yeah, I don't want it too noticeable, just a little background.
Yeah.
So Max Devill couldn't make it. He wasn't feeling well, but he did notify me ahead of time. And so he is the writer and creator of Mary Machinegun, with Atrocity Press, which has a series of other titles as well. But we have the man of the hour right here. So we are going to be talking about NYOBI tonight, and also his new Kickstarter for NYOBI number 4, also with the back issues. Actually, is it number 4 or is it
Outbreak
4?
Well, it's both, right?
It's both.
Yeah, the reason why people will say like 1 to 4 instead of 4 is just to let people know who like never backed before, like, hey, you're not just getting number 4. You can get number 1 if you missed out, sort of thing,
Right. Totally. Like, because I think that's a smart move. Like, if you're putting out a new book and you're on the 4th issue, people haven't caught wind of it yet, and then they're just finding out about it, and you want them to get back to the beginning of the story and have that access to it. So that's definitely a wise thing to do, because some people just come out with a Kickstarter and you might not want to invest in it due to the fact that you're not familiar with the title, don't know where to find it. So if you could get it all in one shot, I thought that was clever.
I mean, what you just said right there is can be applied right to the mainstream, when it concerns, say, like younger readers who may read, say, more manga than they do American comics. A lot of the complaint is we don't know where to start, which is why we've seen countless reboots from these comic book companies with new number 1s. Like, hey, you don't know where to start. You don't want to start with Spider-Man number 547?
Yeah.
Great. Here, we're a reboot. Here's new number 1. And it's
let me tell you, that drives me nuts. I have a mediocre comic collection. It's about maybe 5,000. But every time I'm trying to sort my books on CLZ and Key Collector app, what have you, I have bins. So when I'm trying to sort them alphabetically and numerically, all that starting over on the number 1 volume such and such throws things so out of freaking whack. Like, by trying to organize it drives me nuts.
Imagine like sorting out your Red Sonjas, and there's like 6 different volumes of it, and you got to figure out which one goes with which volume.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at like 2 of the same number, different cover, I'm
like, I gotta open it up and look at the year, and you know what I mean, like.
And then, like, I could scan barcodes, but majority of books, the barcodes in the back or not at all or inside, so I still got to take out the plastic. But enough about these books. We're going to be talking about your books today. And I am a proud owner of a few.
You are. In fact, I play the NYOBI Penguina video with you cracking that open.
Yeah.
Actually, every now and then on my channel, as like part of my intro and stuff, like.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
And of course, you give a shout out to Max Devill in that too. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's the guy right there. Cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
Well, we met on your show, which is like the big reason why, I think we both just like, whenever, however, let's do it,
Yeah, Comic Book Trap House.
That's
Those were some fun times.
Man, the number looks so much smaller on your end. See, on my end, that's almost 11,000 Canadian.
Hell, wow, yeah.
Which is like $1.50 US. So, folks, just so you know, for the price of a Starbucks coffee, you too can help feed a starving Canuck beyond the wall like me.
Yeah, definitely pledge. This is the link right here, people. This is for the new Kickstarter, and you can actually.
We're losing him, folks. He's muffled. I don't know what happened to your audio.
Oh, that sucks. I hope it's not.
No, you're back now. You're back now. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I had to get close up on the microphone. But yeah, I'm a backer of this new issue, number 4.
Appreciate that. Which cover did you go for?
I went with. Okay, I was hoping that it would have showed me right on the main screen.
Oh, we don't want to dox you there or anything.
Cover I, Salsa?
Narcilio Souza.
Souza, I'm way off.
It's got that J. Scott Campbell flair to him, you know?
Yeah, I like that one.
He's got 3 of them, right? So there's like the whole, it's called Dance to You drop set. So.
Oh, wow. Let's see if we can get a little sneak peek.
Oh, yeah. So that's cover A. Juan Antonio, he draws the book.
Right.
And then you got cover B. That's Elsie Freitas.
That's a nice one. Oh, yeah. I'm familiar with Elsie Freitas. Yes.
Cover C. That's Lock Yin. And he's the guy's drawing all the sketch cards you're going to see on this campaign.
Right. Yeah. I've been seeing you, seeing your posts with new releases of these sketch
They're
cards.
done now. We got them all revealed.
Yeah.
That is by the sensei, Mr. Ben Dunn, creator of Ninja High School and founder of Antarctic Press. And of course, that's us honoring the X-Men right there.
Yes, homage cover. I love those.
Yeah, Days of Future Past, folks.
It's looking tough. I like that.
Bucket list artist right there, Mr. Ali Garza.
That's badass.
Ali Garza's worked for all the greats, all the big times. This was his first time with NYOBI. So people, if you want this cover, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, you're going to have to get it through Kickstarter because we're not in shops any longer. You know, when Vic Vega held up those comics, one of them happened to say Antarctic Press.
Yep.
You know, well, unfortunately, number 4 won't be with Antarctic Press.
Yeah, I think if people have any knowledge of what's going on, it's been quite a landslide for distributions.
Right. I mean, we have no problems with Antarctic or anything like that. I don't want anyone to sort of get the wrong idea here. And we may be jumping ahead of the conversation, but you know, just get the elephant in the room out of the way. Is that with Vic's right? So Chapter 11, Diamond bankruptcy, but everything in the chaos. Antarctic Press says we're not publishing any creator-owned IPs. Everything's on hold. Everything's on pause.
Yeah.
We all been essentially released from our contracts. It's like the WWE. You know, here's your future endeavors, and so right now I'm like Cody Rhodes, to continue on with WWE examples. I'm like Cody Rhodes. I must finish my story, okay? And in order to finish the story, we now have to come to Kickstarter to do it. So those who are used to buying NYOBI in the shops, and I know there's a few of you out there who never been to Kickstarter before, who like went to your local comic shop, bought some NYOBI, love you. But now that's not going to happen, at least not for a while. So this is how you get to finish that story you invested in.
Right. And salute to the drive and the ambition to continue this process in your brand. You know, a lot of people, I would imagine, would get so discouraged by such a mishap.
It's a little discouraging that we're not going to be able to finish the story the way that we started it within the shops, right?
Yeah.
But we've always come to Kickstarter, so we're always going to be. We always have a home with Kickstarter, regardless, right? 10, 11 years ago, this is where we started, and I'm sure this is where we'll end. You know.
Yeah.
Cover I, that's the one you got right there.
Yep.
A little spicy there, you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
To do it, man. I had to
right?
It was only right.
Of course, that one there is the one that you're scrolling to now. It's John Stinsman of Image Comics fame. He's known for working underneath the master, Rob Liefeld. Whoa, what do you mean, Naomi? Why are you bringing my name into this? Okay. Easy, Rob. Calm down. John Stinsman, of course, lead artists on such titles as Team Youngblood, Evangeline, Lady Pendragon, and his own book, Scarlet Crush.
Nice. There's a lot. You have a lot of selections for people to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, the next one, the last one, part 5, probably won't have as many covers just because times are getting tough, Vic. It's getting expensive to make these things.
I hope I can get the drive, because I could definitely make the cover. I think if it was just a matter of reminding, if you say, hey, Vic, I'd love for you to try out a cover, I'd probably, like, when it's fresh in mind, I'll pick up the paper and the pencils and the pens and
well, you know, when it comes to that, right? Like some people saying, "Hey, you know, I'd like to do a cover for you." I draw. What do you think? My first response is always, you just show me some work. You know,
right?
Send me a link to a DeviantArt, a little portfolio. Maybe keep your Facebook or Instagram, see what's on there. And if you got the chops, then we bring you on. By the by, and I'm not sure if you're up for this or not. We have Sinopa Publishing in the chat. And Sinopa Publishing is Sam Quinton, who's a really good friend of mine and Max's. He's also another Antarctic Press alumni with being published by them with Tibbi and her time-traveling psychedelic mushrooms. I can easily just throw him the link here and we can have like a placeholder for Max.
Yeah, I'm totally with it.
Sam, I don't know, like I just spoke for you like you're available for a show without asking you, but I'm gonna send you a link, Sam. Okay, it's gonna go in our usual chat room here, just for Sam only. You listening, Sam? You good? Oh yeah. So that's a page right out of the book. The next few images are. That's drawn by Juan Antonio. It features Arizona and Vira, the girl who causes the virus, to have a discussion on viruses or on Vira's future, as they're both incarcerated right now. And Arizona's telling young Vira that she is the next genome messiah, that she's the one that that people are looking up to on the streets, that she's going to lead the next big revolution.
So she's probably pissed off. She has probably a lot going on with her with her history and with her life that led her there, and she is all or nothing.
Well, this is what happens when your power, your mutant ability, if you will, is to infect others with the virus and then potentially turn them into superpowered beings.
Oh yeah,
that's what Outbreak is. That's what Outbreak is all about, right?
Right. All my favorite people. Like, you got power. You got power.
Well, it's random in the sense she doesn't pick and choose. She'll, like, let's say she infects 100 people with the virus. First of all, men won't get any powers at all because they never do. The women that get let's say it's 50 women that get sick, maybe 5 of them might erupt with an ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that means the men better be nice.
The men always need to be nice, brother. You know, we got to be gentlemen with these ladies, or they're gonna tear our heads off.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Like, if that was the real world, I'd be like, man, you go first.
Well, I mean, in my particular one, this is what sort of makes it different than, say, something like the X-Men. Because people always ask, well, what would you compare the book to? Well, I say it's female X-Men. Well, why females? Well, because females are the only ones that have powers, right? In this particular one, in my 617, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now the men aren't completely useless. It's just we have to find other ways to be equalizers, which means instead of being born with powers naturally, sometimes maybe we have to go Steve Rogers route and inject ourselves with a super serum, or use a drug to do it, or develop technology like Iron Man to be able to keep up.
Right. I see you have a store too.
Oh, you found the Shopify store.
Yes, sir.
Not many people find that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen like your books on Midtown Comics. Out here, I bought one in Oxford Comics. That's
cool.
near Buckhead. So I've seen your stuff like
So
around.
Shopify, it's a great little online store. I'm glad you're able to find it. It
Yeah,
only
look at these
costs
covers.
there's lots there.
Wow.
From names that are pretty recognizable in the industry too, like Paul Green that you're scrolling down to right now.
Look at
There's
that.
a Jamie Tyndall cover there, Greg Bo Watson, Mike DeBoffalo. Like they're,
That's fire.
that is sort of the cool thing about doing what it is that we do, is that we get to talk and work with some of these cats. And some of these cats, like say a John Stinsman, I grew up reading, Evangeline and seeing his artwork, and then fast forward 30 years, or so, and here I am, like talking to the man behind the scenes, and he's doing a cover for my book. Same thing with Ben Dunn, right? I'm reading Ninja High School when I'm 14 years old. I'm now 50, and here I am at 50 years old working with the man Ben Dunn, and I get to rub out elbows with cats like Sam Quinton.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I think that's probably a humbling experience, of people with great work. And then that's how I feel like when I get to meet artists and writers, and have them on a show or even in person. It's a humbling exchange of, energy and inspiration.
This is it. Sam, how are you, my friend? And sorry that
What's
we
up,
drug
Sam?
you involved.
Vic, thanks for bringing me on. I was
Awesome.
actually just got done putting my daughter to bed. She's been under the weather. It's been interesting. And I was like, hey, we're gonna see Larry and Max and Vic and see what's going on. And no Max. And then I hear Larry say, Sam, get in here. I'm like, oh crap, what the hell? So I'm here.
Yeah,
I tagged you in, Sam. You know
thank
what I
you
mean?
for coming.
Tagging in to hold on for Max Devill. I tell you what, man, if you gotta be a seat warmer for anyone, being a seat warmer for Max Devill is all right. Max is good people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, he is sick. That's why we haven't heard from him.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know he had that one issue that was going on. Is that still a thing, or did he get better?
I'm not sure. This is what he just told Vic, that he unfortunately he wanted to make it, but he was really, really sick, and he didn't want to be seen
Yeah.
tonight. So,
In honor of Max Devill, we will show his Kickstarter as well. Leave no man asunder.
I'll
yeah,
tell
you
you,
go ahead, Sam, please.
Max has put out some fantastic work. Him and Johnny Reed have put out, of course, Mary Machinegun's probably what they're most known for. Neo
Yes.
Tokyo was pretty good, although Max has some self-criticism of that. Of course, his zombie stripper book is something else, but I think for my preference, I actually mostly prefer his Human Hunters title.
Neo
Oh,
Tokyo.
right.
Yeah, Neo Tokyo, man. Yeah,
I think that's the one I'm missing is the Human Hunters.
Human Hunters is a great series, man. It's a great series.
Yeah,
Bimbos.
like Human Hunters was like a Johnny Reed idea, I believe, and I got to speak with Mr. Reed today. He jumped in our morning off air from his comic book shop in Kansas City, known as Brute Squad Entertainment. So guys, if you're in the Kansas City area, you're traveling there, you're visiting there, you live there, go to Brute Squad Entertainment, see Johnny Reed, buy some comic books, man, and tell him we said hello.
And at Brute Squad, you can get copies of NYOBI. You can get all of the Atrocity Press books.
Yeah.
And you can also pick up all the Sonoma Publishing books. We're on the shelves there with Johnny and them. It's always good to have books on shelves, man.
How do you spell the link to that?
Sam, throw the link for the stuff into the private chat if you can.
For Brute Squad or for which one?
Well, for everything now. Your stuff, Max's stuff, my stuff.
Okay.
Sonopa's in the building. Cliff Bravo. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining.
It, man.
Yeah, let me go grab.
Any lurkers out there, of course, we want you to come in, say hello. If you have a question for me or Sam, by all means, keep them to yourselves. No, I'm kidding. Shout them on out, brothers.
I love that response, man. Just if you got questions, just shut the hell up.
Just shut up.
You've been watching too much wrestling, homie.
Well, listen, my every time I get on a show like this and we start talking comics, I always compare it to wrestling. I always come back to, like, I was just telling Vic how I'm like Cody Rhodes and I need to finish my story, Sam.
Right.
It always comes back to wrestling.
You do need to finish, man. That's for sure.
That's what she was saying.
That's a good one. Larry is so on point. Like I'm like so unslept. My words are slurring. I can't even get clever like.
Dude, I'm still trying to wake up. Like I'm like, oh my god, my
yeah, I'm hurt. But you're doing well though. Like you're well articulated. Your punchlines are there, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like so disappointed in myself today. But I said the show must go on.
The show must go on. It's like that was a Queen song. The show must go on. Like,
indeed, it has to.
Dark America, man. Of course, that is Mary Machinegun #5, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Max and Johnny, they took a little time off, but everything is back on track with Atrocity Press. And it's unfortunate Max isn't able to tell us all about that tonight. But I mean, we'll try and plug him the best we can. And of course, we have Sam Quinton, who's like I was saying to you, Vic, he's another guy published with the Antarctic Press, or was published with the Antarctic Press. Another guy like me that I guess that's sort of in limbo. But Sam also, though, I'm not sure if you have. First of all, let me do it this way. Have you even met Sam? Or is this the first time, Vic?
I've seen him on screen with you, but I never met.
All
Good
right,
to meet you, Vic.
I'm glad to make the introduction.
I think some of your work might be in that poster that I have, the Antarctic Press poster where they're all on the arcade.
Yeah, that doesn't have me on there. I came after that, but
okay,
it's still a badass poster, man.
Yeah.
If you've got room on the wall, you might like one of those.
That is fire.
Or one of those.
Hell yeah.
Or
I think I got room somewhere.
I might get you demonetized on this one.
Oh wait. Whoa.
That's lovely. I want that one.
That is Tibbi and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms, issue 2. This is the NSFW cover option we're doing on the next Kickstarter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, man. I'm about to back that one.
Actually, there's a link I put in there if you want to see the pre-launch page, and you can see both covers that we're offering.
There we go.
And they're censored, so you won't get demonetized for showing those.
So Sam's done books. Sam, you want to go through some of your books? Reign of Ages, 47 Furious Tales, Tibbi and her time traveling psychedelic mushrooms, and I know you got a couple of more.
Yeah, and then we published Necroholic for Brian Lee. We've got 2 books coming out that should be out next year to add to the lines we're carrying right now. One would be 1 in a Million, which is our first all ages superhero book, and then a kid-focused book, Super Willow, based on something I've been working on about my daughter as an actual superhero.
Nice. That's very
cool. A little bit about Tibbi here, Sam.
Oh, Tibbi. Yeah, Tibbi is basically the lady up the street who created her own homegrown strain of psychedelic mushrooms. Yeah, we call that Tylenol. That's from
you do.
That's from it wasn't originally from me. It was from a stream that we did with circumstances in them. And the actual chat came up with it. So we got Tylenol and Tibbi.
Now, of course,
it's great work.
The big question is she really traveling through time with these mushrooms, or is it just a bad trip, Sam?
I know, man. Everyone needs to figure that out. And there's a little bit of a clue as to what the reality is in issue 2. Now, issue 2, here's the thing. Issue 1, we had basically only one criticism from the Kickstarter folks. And that was that the bubbles covered everything the entire issue, right? So the only actual nude shot you got was in this one panel where you see your backside. And that's pretty much it. So with this one, we have 4 splash pages, these 4 pinup splash pages that are full nudes, such as this one. We have one other one that we're going to be showing in the Kickstarter campaign. And then the rest of it's our story. In issue 2, we're going back to 1969 to New York to a somewhat famous music festival. And she's going to hang out for a few minutes with hippies and, see some iconic bands and just kind of experience another quick trip through time. And then issue 3, we're going to introduce our very first bad guy as she goes back to Victorian England.
That sounds pretty damn cool, man. I like that concept. Cool. I haven't seen it. I mean, not seen it, but I haven't read something I'm the closest I might have read to it was like it was a story with shades, but the shades were like they made a wish of things that could happen, and it kind of didn't work out. So this is different because she takes the mushrooms and goes through time.
Yep.
But like using something to change the reality, I guess is where I was going at.
And it's just a fun book to read. It's not supposed to be heavy literature or anything. Just sit down and enjoy the comic. The funny part is issue 1, you read it, it seems like it's done in 5 minutes, and you're like, man, let's get to the next one.
Well, that's the thing about your book. It's a quick read, but it's not because it's like it only got 5 pages. No, it's a comic book. It's got what, 24, 28 pages?
It's 24 or 28.
24,
yeah, something
so
like
your
that.
standard floppy, but I mean, it's just a fast read. Like you're not trudging through this going, when's it ever going to end? It keeps keeps a good flow. It's colorful as hell, and it's fun. Like it reminds me of something that like I would expect to see in like a segment of like heavy metal or Love, Madness, and Robots or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm still trying to reach out to the heavy metal guys because I'm trying to pitch a comic strip, like an old style, comic strip to them that we can do. But
how they have the one-shot stories like in their books.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we've got give you an idea. Our cover artist is also our interior line artist, Damian Torres. He does a lot of work with. This is our drive-through stuff. So one of the things about this one is that we put Tibbi issue 1, the digital, on sale. You can get that for 99 cents for a download right now.
Oh, sweet.
And then there's our role-playing game stuff, our comics. All of our comics are available in digital. D&D adventures, source books, all the stuff that we make.
You have a question for you in the chat, Sam. We have someone here by the name of Explicit Intelligence, and he says, "Why is Homegirl thick?"
She's just drawn like a normal woman. She's not drawn like
No,
a superhero.
Draw
character.
me like you draw those French girls.
Oh man, I can't draw anything. But Damian Torres, on the other hand, he's really putting it out there. But yeah,
Wow,
I mean, to give you an idea,
great anatomy. I mean, the pencil and the pen game is very realistic.
Well, the artist here, Damian Torres, you might know him from such works as, I don't know, Sam, Red Sonja?
Yeah, Red Sonja.
Yeah, the anatomy is so on point, like the kneecaps, the calves, the toes.
I mean, the funny part is you zoom in, and Damian's kind of gone off the reservation a little bit, is a term I hate to use because I got cousins on the res, but Damian's a little off the res at the moment because he instead of like a lot of these pages he'll do 10 hours, 12 hours. He put 22 hours into page 1 of issue 2.
That's some patience, man.
Just the pencils. So, I mean, it's just, man, it is. To give you an idea, let me go grab that real quick.
Because this man, give enough credit to artists.
And the thing is too is like we were gonna do some stretch goals, but instead we just threw everything into the campaign, and then what we're hoping to do, if we can reach, I think it's $17,000 or $18,000. I've got to refactor it because of all the stuff that's going on with price points right now. Right. But the to give you an idea, let me share something with you. This is
Explicit Intelligence. Sam, just so you know, says the caps. The detail is killer.
Yeah. He's. Let me get a faster version of this. Hold on a second.
We just want to look at this all night. We're good. You know what I'm saying, Vic?
Yeah.
So this is sped up. This is sped up of what was 22 hours of him working the very first page.
Oh, let's put you on full screen.
Whoa, that's a lot of Sam.
What do you think, guys?
I think you're a handsome gentleman, bro. But I thought you.
There we go. I'm an amateur, fellas. Please bear with me. I used to have my guy Reddy C in charge of the whole room. And
there you go.
Hence Oh, I like how he has that fast motion video recording.
Yeah, the other version's like 22 minutes long, so we had to drop this up on a little fast time.
Do you imagine if they really could work this fast? You'd be like banging out comic books in like an hour, you know?
Oh my God! If he could do this in this fast, then Damien would be the wealthiest artist in comics.
Right?
You know, he's just absolutely something. And then of course we got the color versions.
Yes.
From, hold on a second, let me get back in there for a second.
Sure thing.
I'm gonna have to find that in another location.
Okay.
Sorry, the guys have moved it.
It's all right. Vic's still figuring out StreamYards here.
No, I get you.
I know it's terrible.
I'll grab it from
Oh
somewhere
wait,
else.
okay, that's the share screen. I'm waiting for another screen to pop up that might have that available on it.
Here you go. We'll do it from here.
One will pop up here in a second. Of course, guys, if you're out there, like this stream, subscribe to Vegaverse, because we want Vic Vega to continue to do this.
Appreciate that. I enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy like I was saying, without you, I don't know if like a lot of us would be together, because you're the one that tied the knot between me and Max, so to speak. We met on your show.
That's awesome.
We've been friends ever since, and that friendship had just sort of evolved and bringing other people into our fold, you know? Like I got to meet Sam during that time, and Pete during that time, and all the cats you see on my show on the regular, man. We all met.
Yes,
you know,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, brother. I mean, you're one of the starts of that.
I gotta keep it. I gotta keep that momentum. You feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah, and I love the work. I love to see the fruition come from everybody coming together and working. And it's just exciting. Like it's a whole another.
Well, look, we love being able to get that work out there. You know, especially the shops. Sam, his book right here was in shops. The first issue.
Mm-hmm.
All of Max's stuff for Mary was in there. NYOBI was there. And now with Diamond on bankruptcy and without us having a home, anyone that's out there watching, you know, if you did buy this book at your local shop and you want number 2, or you bought my book and you want to help me finish the story, we really need you guys now to come and take a look at Kickstarter as a way to help small press publishers like us get our books out until you know, we have distribution again. This is going to be the main way for us to get books directly to you.
You got to back them.
So this is our colors from Dakota Urhan on that first page. This is a little bit slower speed. It's like the medium timeline for the ones he's got in there. I've got to reach out to him because I've got the time lapses and I don't have the page export yet. So I should probably get that tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, it's the same team we had for issue 1. Just putting out the best work we can do. And man, I'll tell you, honestly, every book I produce, I have a certain fondness for, right? And each one kind of scratches a different itch for me as a creator. So it's fun, man. It's fun.
See, we got Locke Yin in the chat. We got Pete Vasquez here in the chat.
Locke, what's up, man? Pete.
Shout out to the gentleman right there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the fellas. I like seeing the color process because I know how long it could take to color. It's layers on layers and staying within line and the little ants, you know, so that you don't get out of place.
She's got a little dinosaur head on this crop top that's been severed, so there's a little blood trail underneath it. We're gonna be making a T-shirt that says "Fuck dinosaurs."
Whoa!
And that's kind of a flashback to where in issue 1 she had an experience with a dinosaur that she didn't really care for.
Nice. I wonder how she took that one out. We're gonna have to buy a book to find out.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, I think. But I tell you, there was a guy who had commented on one of Tyler Carpenter's videos about comics that are just, you read them, you enjoy them, and it kind of just satiates you. It's not something that has to be like this huge epic or this life-changing event. It's just a fun little read that you enjoy and you can come back to and keep yourself sated with. And that person called those type of comics cheeseburger comics.
Mhm.
So they're just sometimes you just want to satisfy your want, your need, and feed the hunger.
Yeah.
Tell me
And
what you want, what you really, really want.
good strong books like this will do it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
And the thing is, like with me personally, I am a more avid buyer of independent books. I enjoy the stories more. I feel like it comes from a unsaturated writer standpoint.
Mhm.
So I'm big on backing books and buying indie books, like from independent publishers, because I just feel like the big two. There's a channel called Thinking Critical, and
Sure
sometimes
is.
I enjoy those their content, because he goes off on some of what the big two does.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he has no filter. Yeah, he just
None.
goes ape shit. And I kind of like relate when he vents. I'm like, you know what? I feel that way too. Like, who the hell let this writer in that's not a writer?
Dazzler #1 is the worst comic I've ever seen. Oh, yeah. Shout out
Now-
to Wes.
Have you guys seen this new feature from Kickstarter? These secret tiers.
No, but I'm glad
Let's have a
you're
look.
here because I want to ask you about that. I was going to ask you all about how that worked on the
So,
off-air.
I'm going to tell you right now what I'm doing with it.
Awesome.
I'm providing this link. Now, right now, if you use the link, it just takes you to the pre-launch page.
Mhm.
But when we go live in a few days, you can give that out to anyone who follows you, and they will get access to the secret tiers. And there's going to be two, and I'm going to show you one of them. One's digital, so there's not much to see on that. But I'm going to show you what this secret tier looks like, and you'll understand why this is going to be kind of cool. Because basically, everyone who's having me on their show, even unplanned like this, they're getting this so that they can share it with their peeps. Okay, so
Shrink this
let
down.
me
I'm gonna open it up.
get this real quick, and I will present.
Yeah, so Secret Tiers is something, Vic, they just sort of released.
They
for
just
Kickstarter.
did.
Yeah.
So, guys,
I believe it's this one. No.
no,
That's
it's
not-
it's
is it?
the one I just dropped in the chat. Did you get it? The
I
very bottom one.
believe- Yeah, that's the one I clicked on and it took me here.
Okay, so let me do this. Let me just share it to you. So it's working like it's supposed to. When you do the secret tiers, when you share this, it's
Yeah.
just going to come here so you can save it. But when we go live, it's going to take you to. You should now have. You should now have the screen that I'm sharing, I think.
Okay, I see it. Yep. Let's get
So-
that one there.
That's this is the one that's giving people a big splash about this. This is going to go out to everyone who's ever backed a tier of mine for any of our campaigns, which is like, God, 30 something campaigns between all the platforms.
Wow.
We're going to do a print copy for $8 plus shipping for anyone who's ever pledged to us before. There's going to be a digital special on there as well. And whenever think about the secret tiers, is if you have a link to one, you'll be able to see all the secret tiers on the campaign. And that's just how that's built out on Kickstarter right now.
Like a members only kind of perk.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the thinking behind it. And so the idea is to make sure that you can kind of really give your audience a little extra. And for me, I like that idea. And I like the idea of people who are pledging for those regular tiers, then getting a chance to, they'll obviously be added to the list for the notifications on these for the next campaign and whatnot.
Right.
But
That's a clever strategy.
a little thing to kind of give back to. Now, it makes it harder to reach funding goal because, it's like $5 difference, right?
Right.
But, I mean, I've been doing this since 2017, and I like the idea of being able to do something that isn't predicated on someone having to log in on the first day, right? So early bird tiers, great, fun. But I mean, if someone, maybe they were on vacation, or maybe they just didn't see the notification, or, maybe they were tied up at work, or they were traveling, or whatever, and they missed that early bird period. This, you can set it so it just runs the entire campaign and they always have access to it. So I think that's kind of cool. And so we're going to throw that there. We're going to have a digital secret tier as well. That's going to be a ridiculous deal. And we're going to give this link out. We've already given it out to a couple of people who had us on. Vic, you're more than happy when we go live, man. Just when you follow it, you can just take that link that's there and tell everyone, hey, look, you guys want to take care of it. I've got this. I've got the secret code, and they can get in there and save themselves $5 off the regular print copy. And that's for the main cover. It's not for the NSFW cover, but that's for the main cover, which is, that Tylenol cover.
Right.
But that's a badass cover, man.
Absolutely. Agreed.
So yeah, this is actually shaping up to be a pretty cool feature. The other one is the featured tier. I'm still trying to put that together to make it make sense mathematically. Right. It would be a little easier if my printers weren't changing prices on me every 24 hours, depending on what happens with tariffs or reciprocal tariffs or reciprocal tariffs. Yeah. So we're probably going to be adjusting prices right up to the end. So this might go up to 9, I don't think it's going to be able to go any lower than 8 with the current printing costs, but yeah.
And people have to understand that because they're going to feel it everywhere anyway. Like it's not going to be a comic that's going to be, volatile like that. So.
But now, like one of the things I want to do with this, I've actually had all the Kickstarters I've had. We've never hit $10,000. We never have, but we fulfilled everything, everything, including one Christmas campaign that we didn't even successfully fund. We sent digital rewards out to everyone, so that was kind of fun. It was a good Christmas. But with this one, we put we were going to originally do the pinups as stretch goals, and we said no, we're just going to put them in, get them done, have them ready. Everyone's going to get them. They're only going to be in the crowdfunding edition of the book. Whenever we go back to main distribution, they're going to come out, and it'll just be the regular story. But I wanted to make sure that we could do something for the team. And one of my goals is to get to the point where we're raising enough money that I can give these guys a pay raise. Because right now, and we'll be really, really transparent, our interior page budget per page is $250. That's line art, colors, letters, and a little bit towards the editorial, right? Right. So that brings our costs around $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 depending on page count, right? For the interiors, and then our covers are already paid for and done and everything else. But what I'd like to be doing is I'd like to be paying at least $400 per page on that budget. And that means we got to get to 17 or 18,000. Right. So instead of throwing stickers at people that they're not going to use, and we got cool stickers, don't get me wrong, but
we're going to throw them at you.
we can really make a difference to the guys on this team. We can put more money in their pocket, give them a little more breathing room, and really, especially at times right now when so many companies are having to hold off on their contractual obligations because they aren't getting that money from Diamond. Yeah. I mean, it'll help make a big difference, I think, if we can get that high. I usually don't make money on my Kickstarters. I make money selling stuff at cons and stuff like that. Right. And then I put that money into these projects. But I think that there's an opportunity with this book particularly to make a real difference. And then hopefully with the other titles that we're carrying to continue that trend to get more money into our people. Because some of these guys I've worked with for 8 years. Torres, I think I've worked with for 4 or 5. Nick Capone, I've worked with almost 8 years. Alexia Veldhausen, 8 years. I mean, these guys have done tremendous work for me over the years, and I'd really like to see them making some more money.
Absolutely. You always want to see the team shine, especially when you have a committed one, Yeah. And the question I have, because I mean, it's some great looking content and product, and I noticed I saw like the phases, like with Larry and Max from Kickstarters, and then all of a sudden I'm in a comic shop, and you know they were able to get to that I'm not hiatus, but to that. What's the word? This is what 24 hours up does to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They got to that new plateau. They get to that next plateau.
Oh, thank you. That's exactly the word.
Or they reach that one summit they were reaching for. Yeah. You know?
Right.
It's a
It
big
must
deal.
be cool, right? Like it's cool for us to be there, right? Imagine, right? Like you met someone, you've interviewed them, you saw them from the ground up, sort of thing, and next thing you know, fast forward a year or two, and you're seeing their work in the shops. I mean, it blows our minds. You know, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
I mean, a lot of these guys, their work ends up on shops quite a lot. Like Damien, obviously, Alexia, certainly. Nick Capone colors so many different titles for so many different companies. Hard not to see him. And then, of course, Taylor Esposito is the letterer on this, and he letters for damn near everybody. But it was something special when Tibbi was on the shelves, and you know, Dakota and Damien and folks that were from the Kubert School and a few other places were down at Midtown, and there's a book on the shelf titled Tibbi and Her Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms, and it wasn't something that he had just done some pages for or one variant cover for. I mean, he drew that book from cover to cover, you know, every interior line. And Dakota did every single color, and of course tailored every bit of lettering on it. And it was really one of those things where, you know, just the team lined up, they controlled their lanes of fire, and they put it down, man.
That's dope, and I know that's a great feeling to see.
Now,
that, you know,
speaking of dope,
make the dream work.
And I don't have any on me. I don't have any dope on me, but what I do have that is dope.
I thought that was part of the deal.
Oh, dude, I got shorthanded. Max didn't show up. We missed the connection.
Yeah,
you know
I heard
what I mean?
that had the best.
We didn't get the handoff, man. I'm sorry, man. What we do have, though, is these sketch cards. You know, we made mention of them a little bit earlier in the show. There's only 10 of these, and each one of these is hand-drawn by Locke Yin, who's in Vic Vega's chat right now. Shout out to Locke. He's the artist behind these. He's done lots of work for a variety of companies as well. He does a lot of work with Upper Deck and Tops. He just finished doing a Star Wars set, right?
Wow.
So, yeah.
Got quite a resume.
It is. It's about as long as my arm. You know? So shout out to Locke in the chat. And he made these cases and these labels. So when you come to our campaign and you're looking for one of these, get them now because there's only 10 of them, right? So there's still 2 or 3 of these available. The other 6 or 7 are sold. This one is sold. Of course, this is NYOBI, the main girl, but I'll show you some of the other ones that are available in the campaign. This one is sold. That's Ariel from NYOBI Birthright.
Yeah. That cover of her is so beautiful on this one right here.
That's it. That's Matthew Weldon right there, man. That's a gorgeous cover.
Superb. Then have all the goodies in the back.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got the stickers and the prints and the cards. Yeah.
Yep.
But these cards here, like I said, they're only one of a kind. Like if you get this card with Cinder, you are the only person to have this. Okay. Like, That's it. You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like an NFT, right? A physical NFT.
It is. Well, essentially, it's an original piece of art drawn on these cards, and then they're encapsulated like we're grading them or something, you know?
Just like if you had an artist do something at a con. Same concept. Right. It's a one-of-a-kind piece. Whereas something like this, you know, we've printed about 1,000 of these so far, you know? So one-of-a-kind versus, you know, mass production.
A whole bunch of printouts that everyone would have. Versus...
Although these are some badass psychedelic mushroom stickers.
We have a set of 10 of these. And guys, like I said, I think there's 3. This is what it looks like in the back, by the way, back of the card. So Locke has them all signed, and it will say the character and one of one to let you know that there is only one of one. And I will be signing them as the creator up here at the top.
Nice.
Right? So the double sign. This one's still available. This is Vira. We talked about her at the beginning of the show. She's the one who unleashes the virus upon everyone and creates the superpower beings. That's her.
Right.
That's our powerhouse Adana. You got to see her on the cover that Vic Vega was showing there for NYOBI Penguina with, of course, the sensei, Mr. Ben Dunn. That's her first appearance is in that comic book. That's it right there. There's our girl, Adana. Sybil.
I know this reflection is like hell.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Locke for doing these cards with us. He's brought some attention to our campaign that we really needed. That they're a hit. We're going to be doing this more often, and not only with Locke, but we're going to bring on other artists who want to draw up a few cards. We'll throw them up on the campaign and have some fun.
That would be awesome. I got to get my pen up. Oh, I'm ready to
right. See what I'm saying now, Vic?
I'm definitely inspired.
Now, guys, if you want the comic or the card or both, you have to come to NYOBI Outbreak number 4 on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I got my book waiting. I think you see what cover I got.
Yeah.
I
Vic likes it a little spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is it, man. But we work hard on this stuff. We get to work with the greats. Everyone thinks that comic books is an easy road. It's probably like one of the longest, hardest roads I've ever been on.
Yeah, that's something I definitely wanted to delve into with you guys, because getting people together, for each requirement as far as lettering, editing, coloring, drawing, budgeting, time management, deadlines, printers, publishing. It's a lot of layers to be able to achieve a release. And I know artists that are and writers that are having a hard time getting their foot in the door, versus there's artists that are swamped and writers that are swamped. It's I guess who and how you manage, or how much you could put out.
Well, here's the thing though. If you, and I say this to the guys I work with, if you have a gap in your schedule where you're not, commissioning or working for someone else, that's the time where you're going to make your money for you. Write your scripts, tell your stories, draw your pages. Even if it's like 4 or 5 days, and then you've got to, someone comes in and say, hey, I need you to do this cover, or I need Phil Leon to do his electric crayon magic and color these pages or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I need, someone like Pete. Pete, give me an idea. Pete designed this for me, and he's done a lot of art for me for personal commissions for my daughter and such. But he has a really fantastic way of making sure he schedules his incoming work. He's a master at that. And finding people who are able to manage their time effectively is an important skill. But as a creator yourself, you need to realize that when all's said and done, even as hard as it is to make comics and role-playing games and books and all that stuff right now is the easiest it's ever been from a technological standpoint and an accessibility standpoint, right? So even with Diamond, and its all whole stuff, I've been selling directly to stores since 2019, right, as the pandemic started to kick off. And while it's only like 32 stores right now, not a lot. I mean, I pack up books and I ship them, and I make my money, and I go on about my day, and get to ship to people who are buying stuff through PayPal or whatever. But the cool thing is that after taking the time to learn everything the hard way, and then realizing this one super secret that everyone's going to tell you and no one's going to listen to, ask questions of anyone who knows what they're doing, right? Ask Larry, ask Max, ask Tyler. People can ask me anything, and if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. Ask someone like Madeline Holly Rossing, who actually wrote a book on crowdfunding that I still use to this day, or Mike Shea, who's the creator of Miskatonic University. These fantastic people who have been telling great stories, but beyond that, they're doing the hard part behind the scenes and making sure that their artists are on time and on schedule, that people are getting paid correctly, that all the little mundane stuff like your tax filings and everything are getting taken care of, handling everything and doing it and making it look easy, even though it really isn't.
It is.
But it's still so much easier than it's been in the past.
A lot of late nights up and whatnot. I have a buddy that he's a writer named Jonathan Chance. He wrote a book called Cover the Dead with Lime, which he never got to finish due to the publisher not paying. And that was kind of like he told the story in the interview. We actually have an interview on his channel with him. And I think he's with Blood Moon right now, publishing, or Red.
No, I think it's Blood Moon, if I'm remembering.
Blood Moon, yeah, it's Blood Moon. The publisher before they weren't dishing out the cash for the book, and it had great artwork. Story was cooking, and he's still looking forward to having like issue number 4 released at some point, but he just hasn't found a publisher. So that just reminds me of from that standpoint, what have you guys ever encountered a situation similar to that?
So I stopped writing for about 20 years. I had a really bad experience in the 90s with a tabletop role-playing game company that is still in business today. So I'm not gonna go into too much details of it. But I had a whole thing I'd written, and everything was good. They rejected it, and then they took my rejected stuff and put it in a book with someone else's name on it. So I just threw my hands up and said, profanity this, and went on about my day. And then one night in late 2016, early 2017, it was either December or January, I was holding my daughter because she had gotten up in the middle of the night, and she was like 2, and sitting there, I was thinking, I need to do something else to build something for the kids, and the only thing that I would have of my skill sets that I would be willing to go back to was writing. Right. So that's what I did. I found Insanopa, and the whole concept is to build the catalog and have something to leave to them, and try and build something that they'll have when they're grown. And so we just keep churning out the best stuff that we can do, and learn stuff the hard way, man. Because no one tells you stuff like, hey, if you don't know it before, your printing specifications are different with every print shop.
Right.
So you've got to know who you're printing from, what you're formatting to, what your file size specifications can be. And at first, that can be a little bit of a shock to you if you're not ready for it,
Right.
But after a while, you can find your footing, and not only find ways to get the books up, but find other ways to make those books work for you, right? So like we sell a lot of stuff on Drive-Thru Comics, Drive-Thru RPG. We also do like a print-on-demand thing through Mix'em, because they have a feature for that. We've got one RPG book on that now. We'll be adding more in the future. That's been pretty cool, not gonna lie. Kind of holding off on Amazon because they keep changing the rules on us. So one day we'll look at it and say, yeah, we can do that. And then another day we're like, what the hell have these guys done with these terms of service?
I'm hearing they're kind of like a lot to deal with as far as Amazon.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that change with them. So you want to be in that biggest bookstore in the world, but I don't want to make 35%. I want to make 65%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of harsh.
Yeah,
no matter who you sort of deal with, right? Like even when we were with Antarctic Press, I mean, as great as a company as they were, unless if you're selling, by the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, you're not making a lot of money, right? So,
right,
guys like me and Sam, the old cliche is true. The starving artist is always the last guy to get paid, and we're always paid the least.
Well, I'm going to give you a little credit. Same credit I give to Max, same credit I give to Mike, and the same credit I give to Madeline. And same thing I do. Each one of us has been really good about making sure our artists are paid first, and then we're paid last. And so that's awesome. I want to make sure that everyone understands, if you're taking a job from Larry or from Max, from Madeline or Mike, and they say you're going to make this much money doing this page or this thing, brother, that's what you're going to make.
That's honorable. I mean, as far as
you want to stay in business, it's a good way to be. I never hire for a project unless if I already have the money for it, right? So I don't run into the trap of like bringing someone on, have them do work, and then go, oh fuck, can you wait a few months? No. Like when we bring someone on, like the cash is already there. It's waiting for them, you know?
Yeah.
We get as much stuff done ahead of time as we can. Then we fund the rest of it through the Kickstarter, get the press run done, and then we make money on the leftover books, certainly. But one thing we also did was with Anarch Press is we want to make sure we distinguish our crowdfunding books from the mass market releases. So what we do with that for comics is when it goes to mass market release, we have an entirely different cover. So none of the crowdfunding covers that we've ever done have ever seen a reprint, and they won't. You know, they might make it on as, you know, posters or something, but they won't be covering up on the book. So like when Damian Torres, I reached out to him because the AP was going to put out, you know, re-release Tibbi issue 1 and put it on the main market. Yeah. And so he made a completely new cover, got paid his usual cover rates with me. So, you know, more money in his pocket. And we made some of those into prints, made some more money off of those, and got it out into the world. And it's really cool to see people discovering work on the shelf in a wider audience. Because we did 1,500 copies through Anarch Press through the initial order. And then we still don't have the reorder totals, but I think that's kind of par for the course with everything Diamond's going through right now.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's just finding another 1,500 people or 1,200 people, because there was a lot of folks who bought like multiple copies and posted them on Instagram, or whatever the final count was.
How does the Kickstarter draw to people? Is it kind of like Etsy, how like Kickstarter has the internet means to get that book, you know, like per se, like on ads or
any crowdfunding platform is dependent upon your capability to market it. So if you have a nice size social media following, that'll help you a lot. A lot of people, I'm gonna say this, and this might be a hot take, Larry, you might not agree with me, but a lot of people have told me that you need to have at least 10,000 people following you, and I say that's bullshit, because the largest following I have is on Twitter. Probably 100 of them are bots, and the other 1,400 are actual people who just, you know, pop in to chill out and see what pictures I'm posting from different projects we've got, or, you know, exchange information about anime and making comics. And the cool part is if you're like, I don't get into a lot of drama. I try not to anyway. And so I get to have conversations with people in public on Twitter about, you know, like, hey, what are you guys doing about this? Well, I'm trying this to see if this works, or I've done this and it did work, or I did this and it didn't work with the dam. Those kind of things coming out actually tend to serve to help other people who are looking about that. It's like, man, I almost did that. I'm glad I didn't. You know, yeah, exactly. Man. So having that opportunity to make a positive impact is a big thing, and Kickstarter helps that in a way, because when you're promoting out and people are following and they're listening and you're doing your updates and you're saying, hey, this is what happened at the printer, and I'm not talking about like, you know, bogus excuses. I'm like, say, hey, I sent my file to the printer and I had it at 150 DPI instead of 300, and so they're like, oh, hey, my printer contacts me back, says, hey, the resolution's a little low. What do you want to do? Thank God you told me. Let me go ahead and correct that, reformat the file, send it back out. Everything's fine, well, and good. That kind of thing, you know, some people who are first starting, who haven't, you know, been into printing before, like, yeah, I'll export it. It'll be this size. It'll be fine. But when you get to like 300 DPI on like a 28-page book, that's a pretty sizable file. So some people might not, you know, think to utilize that. But I would say at 300 would be a minimum for your resolution. And that's basically because of the capabilities of most modern print shop technology. Most of them can do 300. Some of them can do more than that, but you're talking about higher end machine lithography, like 600 DPI or even 1200 DPI. But honestly, the human eye can't distinguish between 600 and 1200 unless you're on microscope.
Yeah, that's like micro at that point.
Yeah, but little things like that. But with Kickstarter, they will do a little thing where, like, if you are new And if you're, really popping off, if people are pledging quickly and consistently, people are really hitting the page, and there's a lot of conversion where people are hitting the page and pledging, you'll see that you'll start trending into their what's popular section on that. And if you can hold that with consistent pledging, that will actually help people to see you. But or if you get like a Kickstarter little favorite little tag, what do they call it now, Larry? What are they calling it these days?
Projects we love or something.
Projects we love, yeah. And so whenever they tag you with that, that's another good thing that can help get some eyes on it. I wouldn't count on any of that. I would say, go out to every single show you can, whether they've got 2 viewers or 2,000 viewers. Tell people what you're doing. Be authentic. Don't try and bullshit the audience. Just say, hey, this is my book. This is why I love it. This is why I think you're going to love it. It's a beautiful woman who makes her own homegrown strain of psychedelic mushrooms, trips balls, and ends up traveling through time.
I love
and that. It's just short little bits of honesty, man. Because people can smell bullshit. Don't think for a second they can't.
Yeah, I think there has to be some type of know-how to even be able to write, like experience-wise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys something real quick because you guys got me so hyped up about the artistry and being able to seek out the
new life and new civilizations.
To boldly go where no comic has gone before.
This is one sample of a cover that I drew for a friend named Rios Palante. He owns a brand called Food Stamps, like FU stamps. They're kind of like Kids from the Bronx. They're supposed to be like the Ninja Turtle version of the hood, like some guys. So he has like the toy line now and the comics, and I just drew one as a fan, and that was
that's all right, man. Look at this.
So it's nothing too special, really. It was just drawn and colored Photoshop.
I didn't know that that you had the artistic flair to you, Vic. You're gonna have to start showing us a lot more work, and so we can check it out. So give us the 411 on this, man.
Okay, so this character's name is Bodega Blade. He's the leader of the crew, and the natural art style really is more cartoony, more like kind of like big, like almost anime meets graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I wanted to put my depiction of the character, and I gave him, and I'm from the Bronx, so it was easy for me to like shape him and clothe him the way I would envision someone outside. Because that's his usual outfit is the green Parker jeans, boots. So I just gave him a more realistic, somewhat approach of what I think he would look like.
Kind of like a higher resolution version of the Boondocks here,
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
A little more detail. Because of course with the Boondocks you're animating, so you don't want to be too tight on the details because then you start looking funny when you animate it. But in still imagery, man, this is tight.
I appreciate that.
I like the necklace too. It reminds me of Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, I had to give him a little shine.
That's it.
Just to, if it was to be a cover, he was gonna use it as a cover. I don't know what happened. He had a few other people, with I guess they had more established names that he was working.
Well, let me ask you this: what's your ambitions, man? Because you seem like you're getting hungry to be involved, to do some covers, maybe get into comics. Is that sort of the path you're on?
I've always wanted to. I think it's my lack of patience because I'm always looking for. I'm gonna be honest about myself. I'm always looking for a quick result. And I grew up drawing, writing stories, and now I'm just like making clothing or with existing characters or something of the kind.
So,
and, it's just, it takes patience.
Do you want to tell stories through sequential art, or do you want to just tell stories and have your art highlighted on it? Because if it's the latter, what you could do is just like a Japanese style light novel. Write your story, take it to a couple pieces, splash it in there, and then, even if it's something like 60 to 100 pages or something like that, that's that sweet spot, that novella / light novel size where you can get it done, just do line art and keep it nice and clean, print it in black and white,
Yeah, I was
make
thinking
it
about
pretty.
that too. Just make it clean so that it gets done.
Yeah, and so
Line art.
there's a thing about that. It doesn't have to be perfect, when you first make it, but you have to make it if it's ever going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So just get it done. Take the story. If it's going to be a comic, write the pages, rough them out if you have to, whatever. Just get that first part done, and you can come back and refine it. It's like if you're when you're writing a script or you're writing a novel or something, and you're like, this is my story. This chick is going to grow her own mushrooms. She's going to trip balls, and she's going to travel through time. Okay, now what am I going to do? Well, where's she going? What's her background? And just splash everything in and build out your whole universe. And then as you just get the writing done. If you're doing the art, do the art.
I definitely want to do the art on this one. So I've been drawing different variations of. I'll fill you in on what I'm working on now. It's been like I put it to the back burner and I pick it back up. But it's called The Jester, and it takes place in, of course, Renaissance times when they were jesters. And this man is so frail, such a timid spirit, and they step all over him, like the courtships, and he's abused. He's looked down upon. There's only like one female in the courtship that kind of pities him, and this man gets done so bad to the point where he's sexually assaulted by one of the nobles. And in order not to find out, the noble sends out dudes that were supposed to do him in, but they beat him nearly to death, but not to death, and he came up missing. And he wakes up in some dark, very, very terrifying dark place. The person is covered, never shows his face, never looks at him, just walks by him, and he's too battered to even move. So he's in such a dark, terrifying, hateful essence that it born something that only the universe could make, which is a reviverance full of animosity and vengeance and manipulation and the things that he was never able, the characteristics he was never able to have, which led him in that from the get-go. And it's going to be a whole vengeance, but not just killing hack, but strategically, like sabotaging. So I haven't got to finish it because I want it to be the most unexpected, mind-blowing, holy shit factor ever. Yeah.
And here's the trick, man. It doesn't have to be perfect at first, but it does have to get done, and you can perfect it in your revisions. Because no, I don't know anyone who can honestly say they wrote their best work the first draft.
Right. I think that's the problem.
If someone tells you that, I got some doubts, Yeah. I mean, that's just me. But I mean, hell, I've rewritten scripts a week before a Kickstarter launched because something came up and I realized, no, I need to fix that,
Right.
So, and sometimes even, a couple of days before I launched.
I can imagine it snaps in your head like, hold up. No.
Yeah, it needs this. We need another couple of pages. Damn, we got to flesh this out too. And then all of a sudden your 20-page story is 28. You're like, oh, that's fine. We can do this.
It's always revisions, always new ideas. It's one that could top the other. It's like, hold up, stop the press.
I mean, my series had to be stretched out by a whole other book, right? Initially, NYOBI Outbreak was 4 parts. And so, but I hadn't had all 4 parts written out. I knew all the beats, but I didn't have, all the scripts done, right? I do it sort of script by script. So I get this message from Antarctic, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to put the ads in Diamond, and we need to know, like, how long is this miniseries? Is it 4 parts or 5 parts? Like, what do you got planned?" And I'm like, and I said to him, "Well, I said I don't know yet. I said the plan was 4, but I said if you have to have an answer right now, it's going to be 5, just so I have the wiggle room in case if it gets too long." And thank God I said that.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
And that's when I started seeing your stuff in the stores. And it was funny because, like, I'll see a NYOBI comic, and the some of the shop owners I know, because I'm there either so frequently, or I'll do an interview over there or a piece of footage. Right. And I'm like, yeah, I've interviewed him. I know that guy. And they were like, oh yeah, sure. Okay.
That's nice, dude.
Same thing with Max stuff. I'm like, this guy right here, I'm buying the book.
Well, we appreciate that, man. Like Sam said, we need more. We need more shows like this where guys like us can, can come on and you know, share what we do. But that's all up to the YouTube creators out there and the guys who do comic book content, if they want to have on guys like us or not. But the good thing is that a great majority of the content creators out there that sort of do the content that you do, or say like when you're back with Comic Book Trap House, or you know, a couple other shouts I can give would be like, you know, Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays and shows like that, Swaggle you know, guys like that bring us on. Appreciate it, love you. We need more of you guys out there.
Yeah, and I definitely love having people on, because it's always a learning experience. It's nice, it's refreshing to hear the mission and the journey that it took to get to where this material is at. Everyone always has a story to tell, whether it's in their books or in their lives. And you know, I'm thankful that you guys came on here for that.
Well, you know, you talk about the mission and the journey. You know, like my journey has been 11 years at this point, right? And
flies, man.
There's times when I feel like, and trust me, my friends in the inner circle know this well. I'll have a lot of highs, and then I'll go through a lot of lows, bro, and then I'll go through a lot of highs, and this could all be in the span of a day, okay? Like a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of highs. Sometimes I think like the whole industry is destroying itself. Sometimes I think there's light at the end of the tunnel, and then sometimes I see that light go out, you know?
Yeah.
And after 11 years of doing it, you know, it's only now, like even like I look at my campaign right now, and we just hit $11,000 Canadian, which is about $5 US. So thank you, whoever came in and back. Appreciate that, man. But
absolutely.
I mean, you know, we always, you know, like to see the hope, because without the funding, we can't make the comics. At least I can't, right?
Yeah.
So at bare minimum, I have to break even on these things. Hopefully, we actually make a profit, because that profit goes into making the next book, and thus the cycle can continue. You know, but it's a journey, man. And after 11 years. And I've said this analogy before. I feel like I'm a plane that for the last 10 years, I've been running down that runway, and finally we start to catch wind, and we're starting to lift off. But that was a decade of trying to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I would love to see it get optioned.
Look, it's always possible, right?
Even if it's on Tubi, it'll still be great. You know,
look, Tubi, call me. Here's the thing. Call me or call Ben Dunn, because Ben Dunn has, you know, Antarctic Press has deals in place with some of these companies. Like, hey, if you're ever interested in one of our titles, let us know. We can talk business, you know? So let's talk business out there, people. If you are someone who catches this show and you're big wig at Netflix, have your people call my people. My mother's standing by, ready to take your call.
There we go.
Or just call Ben Dunn, and Ben Dunn will call Larry.
Don't forget to do it a day later. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Ben.
Ben's fantastic. I'm going to get to finally meet him in person here next week.
Oh yeah, let's plug that for a second. So I don't know where you're at in the world, Vic. I mean, you're obviously in the U.S., but in Texas,
in
Georgia. Okay. Well, in Texas, there's going to be, I think it's March the 13th, if I'm not mistaken.
15th. Yep, Saturday
March
the 15th.
The Antarctic Press, basically 40th year celebration party / convention.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam, give us the details. You have those?
I can get them. Let me go find it on the Facebook thing, because
I personally won't be there, because that involved me having to get a passport and a bunch of money to go down to the U.S. But Sam Quinton will be there, so
I will be. Yeah, we're gonna be at in San Antonio, Texas, on the 15th. I'm actually also bringing one of the future owners of Sinopa Publishing. My youngest daughter is gonna be with me on that, and we are. Let's see here. We are in the Norris Conference Center at 618 Northwest Loop. That's 410 Suite 207, San Antonio, Texas. It's the AP Birthday Bash, 40 years in business. Yeah. And they're going to have just a who's who, and then, you know, some of us new guys about there. Fred Perry's going to be there. Tim Lim is going to be there. Yep. Chris Allen, Brian Denham,
Tyler Carpenter.
Tyler Carpenter is going to be there. I'm going to be there. A whole lot of folks, and of course Ben, Joe Ming, The guys from AP that make AP work, they're going to be giving away free comics from the warehouse. They're literally just clearing out.
Bring your trucks and load up because everything must go, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean they're cleaning out warehouse space to kind of celebrate that. So like my daughter and I are going to go through and go find like those how to draw manga, how to draw comic stuff.
Yeah,
and get some of those. And then we've got everyone who's coming has like vendor table space, so you'll be able to get some. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was trying to find where the hell it was. I couldn't find the YouTube link, but
Conference Center.
Yeah, I think I'm the last in the list.
Bill Williams, of course. Bill Williams does the comic book Punchline, so that was cool to see his name there. Any names I see here as the video plays, I'll sort of shout them out. David Hutchinson, yeah. Dylan Fagan, good guy. Yep. Dylan drew the 10-part. Actually, it wasn't him, but Fred. I get my names all mixed up. Fred Keel, he's gonna be another guy that's gonna be there. Get a load of this, Vic. I'm in Ninja High School 200. I have a 10-page story in the milestone issue.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the guys that's going to be at this event, he drew it for me, and then we had Nick Webb color it. Shout out to Nick Webb. But yeah, I'm going to be in Ninja High School 200. I have a 10-page Ichiku story, basically based off of one of the main characters of the original arc of Ninja High School. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Ninja High School, get a load of this. I am introducing a brand new character into the concept, into the fold, into canon with that story. And hopefully it does well, and Ben gives me the green light, and we'll do a few more. We'll continue on the journey that we start.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of writing going on for Ben right now.
I'd love to do what do you call it? A variant cover.
Well, look, man, like I said, I want to see some more work. Would that cover look cool? That cup you showed was badass. I want to see some more stuff like that.
Yeah, King in Black.
I wanted to mention that while that was up, but you guys were in a conversation, so I didn't want to interrupt anything.
Sorry
but
that
fucking cup was badass.
No
dude,
problem. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like, where can people, like, do you have a shop like where people can buy, your merch and stuff? Like, we need to get these links out. We need you to come on my show next, okay, Vic? That's sort of gonna be the next invite, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're 20 minutes late, I'm gonna be cool with that. You know what I mean?
I say better late than never. I was glad. You came on through, man. Like, so no.
Well, look, as soon as I woke up, I was like sweating in bed. I looked, I see the clock. Like anyone with something, they thought I was the Undertaker. I literally did the whole fucking sit-up thing, right? And like got out of bed and came right here. Like
I was about to do the roll my eye trick, but then I realized I have contacts. That was a bad right? They would have got stuck. I would have had to step off.
So I finally found that color.
Oh, there we go. That's beautiful. Look
That's
at that.
page 1, issue 2.
Oh man, that looks great.
Yeah, that between
especially right there, that lower panel.
Yeah, I mean between here's the thing, man. This whole page is just freaking incredible.
Yeah.
When I say there was 22 hours of line art on this, I'm not kidding. These are not imported features. He drew every branch.
Yeah, that's
he drew
the stuff that gets
every tile on the wall.
Well, it reminds me of that McFarlane quote, right? So
yeah,
just, he's like, hey, bud, I would call up these guys, bud, at the middle of the night, bud. I'd be talking with like Rob Liefeld, bud, and I'd be saying, while you're learning the thumbs and the anatomy, bud, I'm drawing extra bricks in the wall.
There's so much detail in this, it's ridiculous.
So while people are learning the thumbs and the anatomy, Damien Torres is drawing extra branches on the tree.
He's doing tiles on the backsplash of the kitchen.
Right?
Little bubbles and such in the whole trip that hurls her through time. He makes sure that he matches her fingernail polish to her freaking eye color. I mean, come on, guys.
Look at that butt crack shot.
No, it's covered with bubbles.
There's no covering of that. What are you talking about?
Well, everyone was saying, there's not enough skin shown in Tibbi, and this was like what we were showing in the first one, right? This upper
Right.
right-hand panel, all the bits were covered, and people are like, "You covered all the bits." I'm like,
Bits and bytes, man.
we're gonna be on shelves, man. So, but
that's some great soap suds. I mean, some water suds, man.
I know,
Well,
man.
they always say no to crack, right? Like,
Not in this case. Mushrooms and crack. Okay.
right?
But yeah, man, it's these guys are putting in just ridiculous amounts of effort to make this book the best looking thing they can do. I asked them, and every time I hire an artist, I ask them one thing. I said, guys, what I want you to do, what I'm paying you for, is to do work that 10 years from now you can look back at and be really proud of. And I'll tell you, that mindset makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah. And the patience, the practice to get anatomy down, light source, all of that is such a factor. I'll show you one sneak peek. This is really old.
Now, can you full screen yourself, Vic?
Yeah, so we can
get a really good look at that.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see, solo level. Yeah.
There we go.
This is pretty aged.
I like it though.
Oh, that's some nice detail, man.
Thank you. Oh, sitting on a chair, chilling. You know what it is, on guard. Yeah, this book is probably around 10 years old. Then I drew myself back when I still had hair.
Epic. Yeah, so for a guy like you, what I would say is send us links to some sort of online portfolio where potential clients can look at your work and make a decision if they're a guy that you're a guy that they want to bring on their project or not.
I'm gonna tell you someone you should talk to is Brian Hawkins.
What's his name?
Brian Hawkins.
Now, who is Brian Hawkins?
Brian Hawkins is one of the best comic writers around who no one knows about. He wrote this book called Cornrows. Have you read it?
What's it called?
Cornrows.
I can't say I have.
All right, so
Oh, that one's nice.
it is. It's damn good, man. It really is. He's written a bunch of other stuff too, but that was where I really got hooked on what he was doing. You can find him on Twitter/X. Let me see if I can find him and I'll show you.
And he's accessible, like he reaches back out.
He's cool as hell, man. He really is. Yeah. So Brian, let me find.
You see, for a guy like you, right, Vic? Here's what I would do. Like, if I was to hire you, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't start you off on a cover because I hardly ever do, unless if like you're really blowing me away or your name in the business, right? But what I usually will do is like I'll say, hey, why don't you draw a card for me or a sticker or just something small, and the reason why we do that is A, just to see what you got. B, though, to see how fast you are, how reliable you are, right? Without putting a lot of pressure on you or ourselves, and then like after you do a few small gigs like that, then you kind of get upgraded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think my shortcoming would probably be practice with anatomy because I used to do it a lot, and then when you don't use it, you lose it. So like feet, hands.
Yeah.
That's some of the most I would say.
So I put his Twitter contact in the private chat, but he's got something coming up with Dark Horse.
Rain it.
Yeah, definitely keep the eyes out because the man is ridiculously good.
That would be inspiring. I think that would make me pick up a pencil. Things like this. Even talking with you guys, it just makes me want to pick up my book and get back into it.
Well, look, I'm gonna be the first guy to always encourage that. First guy to encourage you, keep drawing, keep working. It is something you want to do. You can absolutely do it. But it's gonna be on you to put in that little bit of work, right? That's always gonna be the hardest part.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you have questions about stuff like how do I do this, how do I that, always feel free to reach out. Because here's the thing about that, right? You can do so much good in someone's life by just giving them a little bit of information that helps authentic, real, true, chip truth kind of stuff, right? Like, hey, like we one of our buddies who reached out a couple of years ago when we first met him wanted some information on how to make his comic, and now he's churning out comics, and he's going to cons, he's doing his Kickstarters, and he's good people, you know. I'm hoping he's going to come down to the AP thing, you know. That would be kind of cool.
Well, which name are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Our guy who did the favorite comic cover ever from our buddy Pete Vasquez, the one and the I'm sorry. I was about to call him Gag the Wolf, but Gage the Wolf. Yeah. I almost gave the wrong name.
He's in Las Vegas, Nevada, so I don't know if he'll be swinging down to Texas or not.
I mean, I'm driving 1,600 miles to get there.
Well, I get it, but you're a freak of nature. You know, these wrestling guys.
I am wired differently, right?
You're moving differently, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just wired differently, man. There's not a lot of people in comics with a background like mine.
That's pretty cool, man. For real.
But yeah, man, Gage the Wolf, he's turning out just fantastic stuff. He treats his people well. And I got some pieces of advice I give every creator I ever talked to. The first one's about crowdfunding. When you go to set up your crowdfunding account, build a brand new email account that you only use for crowdfunding, because you're going to get inundated with spam from marketing bots, right? Yeah. So don't have that in the same email you get stuff from your grandma in, right?
Right.
The second thing is contracts. Anytime you commission an artist, anytime you commission a colorist, anytime you commission a writer, contracts specifying what people are paid, rights, usage, what's being paid, when, how it's being paid. Is it going to be paid by check? Is it going to be paid electronically through PayPal or Cash App or whatever the thing is? Right. And then make sure that if you're over the federal threshold that you're sending in those W-2s and everything. Keep everything wired and legit as hell, because if you're operating in the U.S. and you think everything's going to play fast and loose because the IRS is being taken apart, I wouldn't take that gamble, man, because the IRS takes shit personally, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd fight the Joker before I'd fight the IRS.
Facts. They'll put you away real quick.
Hell yeah, they will. Even canonically, the Joker won't fight the IRS. You know what I mean? So
I just want to see the world burn.
Yeah. But you gotta watch out for those feds, man. They'll get you.
I would like to definitely have you guys back on soon. You know, delve deeper into
Well, next time we're gonna drag Max with us, kicking and screaming. Bro,
yeah. Absolutely.
I'm glad I got to keep his seat warm for him. I wish he'd been here.
Oh, Sam, thank you. Though that helped a lot, because
I knew Sam was a talker. I'm like, Vic's
actually,
tired. I'm just waking up. You know,
I think Larry did phenomenal. Like, cause I'm not there tonight. You know, like I'm slow. I'm a little slow tonight. So I was so happy that Larry could take the wheel in the way he elaborates things, and he has such a great memory on all the people that he works with and the processes that he does. That carried the show. And then you came on. And you guys just made this a great show, so I'm super thankful for that.
Hey man, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I mean, without a place for us to showcase our stuff, I mean,
yeah, it was exciting.
And guys,
like I said, we're gonna bring Vic on our show,
hanging on one thread and probably like a whole stomach full of seltzer water.
I feel you.
Well, look, just wait, man. We're gonna get you on, man. I'm gonna message you. We'll get you on, like, whenever you can. Hopefully, it'll be like next week or something. And,
definitely,
I'll be there.
We'll interview you. We'll talk about your time with the Comic Book Trap House. We'll talk about what you're doing now. We'll get into what you're collecting, what you're reading, what you're buying. We haven't even talked about any of that stuff tonight. You know what I mean? So we got to get into all that. Well, I mean, outside of that, right? Like I only get 3 titles. I get X-Men, Magic, and Red Sonja. But I want to know what Vic Vega is buying, and we're gonna find out when we.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that for that conversation. I'm not even gonna.
Right? That's a whole other hour or two there. Yeah, I'm sure. Right. That's why I want to save it, because we'll get right into it, man. We'll talk about collecting.
It's gonna be real fun. Fellas, thank you again. Like you made this episode pop. So I'm gonna tomorrow watch it again. I just want to rewatch everything because it was such a good conversation.
Take and absorb the information.
Yeah.
And Vic, I'll make sure you've got the link for the secret tier. Once we go live, just give me a follow on Twitter. We'll announce our go live. You're gonna see it where you followed the campaign, but feel free to share it. Anyone who has the link can use it.
Okay.
So just
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to make sure that I include everyone who's been nice enough to have me on, so that they can give to their communities too. We can take advantage of it.
Appreciate
It'll
that.
help me get these guys paid.
Thank you, son. Thank you, Larry. Gentlemen,
You, sir.
it's been superb, and I hope everyone has a grand night, and we can lock in next week.
Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe, share this around, make sure this video goes out far and wide. Let's get this man some subscribers.
That's it,
Appreciate
man.
that so
I
much.
won't be in the after party. I really got to use the washroom bad, and I got to go smoke this one. So I'm gonna dash and dine and dash. You know what I'm saying here, Vic? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta use the men's room too.
So, we'll
Probably not the way to close the show, guys, but
never cross the streams is what they say.
like and subscribe so these guys can go piss, okay?
Right?
Like
And
subscribe,
like I said, next time you get us together, it'll be on my show. We're gonna interview Vic. He doesn't have to do any work. He just is to sit there. He'll get to relax and just talk comics. You know. That's it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching NYOBI Comics Live. I'm kidding. Thank you, Vega, for hosting us. Thank you for Sam coming in at last minute. You know, right off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Well,
you, thank you.
If my boy Max was feeling bad, I gotta come in, right?
That's it.
Tag in, we'll get it done.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to
That's
drop out, and I'll see you guys all later.
All right, guys, have a great one. Talk to you
You
soon.
too, brothers. Peace.
Peace.
Vic, don't forget Brian there, and definitely give him a look. Guys, anyone who's watching, make sure you check out Brian Hawkins' cornrows and everything else the man's doing. He's got a long list of titles. He's, honest to God, one of the best comic book writers no one seems to have ever heard of.
Definitely gonna look him up like right after this, actually.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
bathroom, then look him up.
Yeah, head call first. I get it. Thanks for having me on, brother. You have a good one.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Man.